Dun, 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 dun. Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etiquette here for another Sunday night live stream. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Eric, and we talk about teaching, especially English. So if you've got any questions, put your name and where you're from in the comments down below. Say hi. And yeah, if you have anything you want me to talk about, I'll do my best. Yeah, I'm in my studio. I didn't put on this light in front of me because it's on the fritz. It doesn't work very well. It goes on and off. So does it look okay? Can everyone see me well? I can see my first viewers here. Hello, mom. My mom says she's in my hometown and it's very hot there. I'm currently in South Korea and it's quite cool. Winter's around the corner. Actually, winter's arrived quite late, so I'm excited for it to get really cold. So I can take. Wait, no, I need a new coat. I think the coat I have is too thin. Yeah. So what have I been up to this week? I like at the start of each live stream, while I wait for everyone to join, I just try and go over what I did during the week. And as usual, I don't feel like I did too much. There's so much more I had to do. But well, today I did finish a video, a very important one on 10 tips on how to teach English grammar. So it shares some activities and some tips for teaching grammar to ESL students. So I finished that video today. I just need to make a thumbnail, but it's on my YouTube channel. I will release it on Tuesday. What else? I've finished shooting. I've got so much editing to do that I need to get control of. So I need to do that soon. I wonder if I should turn on this light so that everyone can see me well. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'm still busy editing. I think I should make some more videos on, especially on websites that are useful to teachers, because I'm busy with a course that I finished shooting. I just need to edit it on how to teach online. So I need to get that. Scumbag. Hi. What a great name. It's good to see you. You know what? So I can see that your profile is invincible, and I was actually, I was just lazing around, and I actually enjoy the series Invincible too. It's an animated. I think it comes from a comic book, but it's an animated series about superheroes. It's yeah, but it's quite violent, so watch out for it. But yeah, no, I was watching a video about it earlier. A really good series. Welcome, Islam. Hi, good evening. How are you doing? Have you worked in the nations? No. Well, I've only worked in South Africa, and then I worked here in Korea. Have I worked anywhere else? No, I don't think so. Have I? No, I don't think so. I would love to, but I haven't yet. Thanks for the question, scumbag. It sounds like I'm insulting you when I'm really not trying to. Yasmina, hello, sir. It's nice to see you. I'm teaching ESL. So, which book is the best, Cutting Edge or Headway or Interchange? Wait, I have used Interchange before. Let me look at it. I don't remember if I've done Headway. Let's say Headway. Let me see if I've seen this Headway. I think I've seen it around. If I could see some of the activities, I would be better able to say. But one of the things I dislike doing is giving book suggestions, especially for which books to use. I feel like perhaps I miss something, or perhaps something that I enjoy other people might not enjoy that much. So I've been actually in the background. I've been working. Or one of the things I need to work more on is to create my own curriculum with activities and resources that you can use for lessons. That's what I would like to do. But I feel like some books aren't really that useful. It's too complicated, or it doesn't focus on the skills that you think might be necessary. But the value behind these books is that it gives you a curriculum to work from. So even if you don't like all the activities that you can find, you can supplement it with other activities. I wish I could see inside Headway. It looks familiar. Interchange. Interchange. Let me quickly see. I've used before. Yeah, by Jack C. Richards. I've actually been to. I've seen him speaking once a long time ago. I wish I could see inside just to remember what it looks like in the activities. But I've seen him speak. Okay, show me, show me, show me. Actually, I like the interchange books quite a lot, if I can remember correctly, because it does give like a lot of. If you go to the back of the book, it does give like extra activities, and it also gives you some dialogues that you can use. So even though I don't remember the headway really well, but interchange I can remember it's got some dialogues, it's got some, especially if you go to the back of the book, it's got some support activities and things that I think are very useful for students. So don't shoot the messenger. This is why I don't recommend books, but I do like interchange a bit. Although I wish I could have some more time with Jack C. Richards, because he always, he travels, well, Asia, and he speaks. Yeah, it looks like a curious fellow. Okay, hi from Egypt. By the way, I'm a nobody. I have no reason to talk to anyone who's written so many books and who's a leading expert, in teaching English. I'm just here sharing ideas and, tips, ideas, resources, because I feel like nobody else has put it out. So that's just what I do. I make video. I've got time. I don't have a family. I have a lot of free time, except I should go to the gym a bit more. I should get outside, but I guess I'm a bit of a hermit, staying at home and just either doing nothing or trying to do some editing. I blame it on my recent move. So I used to live in a place where I could always go to a study cafe and I could go and work there. But now I generally stay at home, and it's so difficult to focus at home. But anyway, so I'm a nobody, but so I can't really, say that he's good or bad. But I do like the interchange books, if I remember correctly. Hi from Uzbekistan, Islam. Tuan, hi from Vietnam. Oh, I love Vietnam. I went to Vietnam. I went to Da Nang during summer. Loved it. One of the things I really enjoyed is how active people are. And then recently I saw this video about it's this traveler that went to the country with the least amount of obesity to the country with the most obesity. And Vietnam is actually the country with the least amount of obesity. I don't know if it was in the world or just Asia, but he said it's just 2% of people. And I really understand that, because, the food choices, the food is so healthy. You don't even need to go to like a fast food place, because all the food is cheap, it's healthy, it's tasty. And then also the people are so active. 5 a.m. in the morning, I go to the beach and there are 1,000 people swimming, running, jogging. In the evenings, you see people dancing or working out somehow. So I think I really appreciate that part of the culture. Because in South Africa, I feel we're very stationary. We don't move enough. We drive everywhere, just like in the States or some countries where you drive a lot. Unless you go to the gym, but that's just I wish we had more of a healthy outside. You could go outside for walks and you can do things like that. And I mean, you can, but in most cases people just prefer to stay at home where it's safe, I guess. So yeah, no, anyway, it's a tangent. I really appreciate Vietnam for that. This is the first time I'm attending your live. Oh, hi, welcome. Well, it's not a lesson. I just take a shower, put on the camera, and if anyone's there and they want to chat about something, I'm here, and I talk about it. I actually did it for 3 years straight every Sunday, and then I stopped doing it just to have some more free time for myself. And it doesn't really help the channel when I make these videos, when I do live streams. It's just a nice way for me to interact with people. Plus, my parents asked me to do it, so I've got to do this, even though not that many people watch. Yeah, and it's weird, if it's you're waiting for a live stream, you get kind of you're not looking forward to it, because now you've got to sit and talk to everyone. But then afterwards, you kind of feel good. It's almost like a therapeutic session. So yeah, welcome to my therapy session, Islam. Yeah, if you guys, if you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, please put it in the comments below. Hello from Algeria, Manuel. I'm all set to listen. Well, advice. I don't know about advice. It's mainly me complaining or like just talking about whatever comes up. But Manuel, it's a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for coming each time. How are you doing? What a good question. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just I'm looking forward to the vacation, and I really want to get all this work done that I've got planned, because if I go on vacation, it would be a couple of weeks that I won't have any time to work on video. So I need to get everything prepared in the next 2 or 3 weeks before my vacation. So yeah, I'm a bit stressed about that, and I have to prepare for the vacation too. Hi from Abu Dhabi. Hi, Amina. ELA teacher at Tenerife, 27 and sunny. This is Manuel. Wow, what a cool intro. Have you ever visited Algeria? No, I haven't. But I think, when it comes to Africa, obviously I'm from South Africa, but I've heard many good things. I would love to visit Algeria and Morocco. I know you guys are up there, and I heard so many good things. So I would love to visit. Yeah, I think that's definitely on my to-do list, is to get there. But I think first, this vacation, I'll probably just I love going to the beach, so I might do Thailand this vacation. First Russia, and then Thailand, and then I think in the future I haven't really seen a lot of Europe, so I would like to do Europe and South. Well, the whole world. I need to do the whole world, but I'm mainly here in Asia that I've seen everything. Okay. Sunday noon. Yeah, Sunday afternoon. For my parents, I think it's what, 12 p.m. Yeah, I think it's 12 p.m. Sonia, hi from Bangladesh. Oh, I feel I regret it so much. My Bangladeshi friend sent me a message yesterday saying that he's in town if I'd like to meet up, but yeah, I had other plans, so I couldn't really do it. Saima, how are you doing in Sri Lanka? I love seeing your Instagram photos, or videos, you having fun. How is it there? Are you still having a great time, you and your colleagues? I really like seeing the lives of teachers in different places. I've got some friends who actually, that teach in Thailand or teach in the Middle East, and I think, wow, that's so interesting. The making connections and the colleagues. For me, I've got colleagues, but it's we don't really work together. You see them, I always pass the same guys. I always have the a similar time schedule with. So yeah, it's not the same. I kind of miss that aspect of having people around you. Sorry, actually, earlier, I love Indian food, and I ordered some Indian food earlier. And all the restaurants I know, lazy Eric, you should go out. The sun didn't see me today. Sunday is just me staying at home, editing that video and relaxing. Oh, and I went to bed very late because I was watching rugby sports, and it was in Europe, so I had to stay up until like 3 a.m. So yeah, I slept most of the day, and then I did editing. Anyway, I ordered some Indian food, and usually I don't really like the restaurants around here, but I tried a new one, and man, these guys made it so spicy, and I was happy because usually the Korean palates, they don't make it. They like spicy food, but it's a different type of spicy. Indian spicy food, they when it's in Korea, it's not as spicy. So when I ordered something and it was very spicy, I was relieved, but now I'm I'm bearing the consequences of that. I'm not, that's what happens when you get old. I've got my back hurts, and I eat spicy food and I suffer. But it's all good. Sonia, I'm also from Bangladesh. What do you teach? Hi from Iran. Hello, teacher from Cambodia. Hi, Eric. I will. I will. Actually, so guys, if you wanted to see my Instagram, it's Etacude1. You can check it on Instagram, but I haven't posted in a long time. So usually I would post like when I go for lunch somewhere, or if I do something interesting. But recently I haven't posted anything. Although I do like taking photos, to remember things. But I might start doing it. Oh, well, I'll definitely, Simon, because you asked me, I'll start doing it when I go on vacation. And actually, yeah, I'll see. I've got plans. I've got a French friend. We'll go skiing. He'll ski and I'll snowboard in 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks later, we'll go snowboard and I'll take some photos of that. Zeka, hello from Mozambique. How are you doing? Vessel, I hope you're doing well. I want to please suggest some relevant resources to prepare for my presentation called Modality, Register, and Signaling Vocabulary. Okay, Vessel, I'll type it down. You know, if I can't remember the books that I've used in the past, I'm not going to be able to give relevant resources from the top of my head. So I'm going to look it up and I'll share it with you if it's okay. I'm going to write down all the things I need to remember for next week. So modality, register, and signaling vocabulary. It sounds very interesting. So I'll look it up, and that is for Vessel. Okay, I'll look it up during the week because actually last week somebody asked me to talk about fossilized language, and I thought, fossilized learning or fossilization, which I thought is I heard it before, but I had to look it up to just make sure, and I'll talk a little bit about that today. I think that's really useful. I'll start talking about it now. Berin, hello from Kosovo. Good to see you. Costa, hi. I like that wave. Yes, my coworkers are great. They are more like family to me. Eric, you should come to Sri Lanka. It's amazing and very cheap. I've been thinking about it because I heard some people say there are some really nice beaches and it's quite affordable. I was teaching my students affordable during the week, one of my classes. Not cheap, not expensive, but you can buy it. It's affordable. Okay. Yeah, guys, if you've got any questions, please put it in there. Vessel, I'll make it next time. And sorry if I'm looking towards the screen. You know, I'm looking things up, and I look over here to read it, so it doesn't feel like I'm talking to you guys, but I'm definitely listening. Okay, so what was I talking about before? Fossilized learning. Where are we? Yeah, so fossilization is when students consistently make the same make the same mistakes, the incorrect grammar or different forms, and it's mistakes that have been entrenched over time. It's very difficult to remove because they're so used to making those mistakes, and it's difficult to correct. So even though they might improve their language, or even though you try and fix it for them, they still fall into that bad habit. So that's what we call fossilized learning. You know, usually we should remember what we're learning and improve upon it. But if you learn something incorrectly, then and it sticks with you, it's difficult, like to change a habit like eating spicy Indian food. It's a bad habit. Okay, so what are the causes for fossilized learning? So first is like a habit that you do. So it's repeated use, especially if it's in an environment. So most fossilized learning you'll find in the same countries where everybody around you makes the same mistake. And then, you know, it could also be that if you make a mistake, sometimes we as teachers, we don't want to correct the students because we want them to be we want to boost their confidence, and we want them to focus on fluency instead of accuracy. So then they just continue using the wrong form or making the mistake because we don't correct them. Sometimes I do this with my French friends where he speaks and he makes a mistake, but you know, we're in a group of people, so I'm not going to correct him in front of everyone, although his English has improved a lot. When I first met him, nobody understood him except me, and then now his English is actually quite good, except for some of these fossilized mistakes that the fossilized learning that he makes, the mistakes that he makes. Yeah, like I said, it's also when we focus on fluency over accuracy. Also, you know, if your first language is different and you do this and not in that language, then it's a mistake. So, for example, Koreans would say When they talk about taking medicine, they say yak mogoyo. So it's yak is medicine, mogoyo is eat. So they say, oh, I eat medicine. And then we have to correct them and say, oh, you can either take medicine, or if it's a fluid, you can drink it. Right. So that's first language influence. Insufficient motivation. When students can communicate and they feel that like their point can come across in like a comfortable way for them to speak, they're not motivated to improve or learn, so they just keep doing the same thing. And then the last reason is the plateau effect, where students get so comfortable in their language use, they're confident, they're comfortable, they don't feel like they want to improve. So that's one of the things. But I guess that doesn't happen that often. Most language learners really, if they get to a certain level, they're very motivated to learn. Now let's see. Has anyone said anything? Has it just been me talking? Sonia, I'm starting online teaching to young learners after a long time. Your video gave me so much confidence. Thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, Sonia, just because of you, I'll try and edit that course a little bit quicker, because I'm going to edit the course, and I've also got some very useful videos about teaching online that I think you're going to love. I just need to edit quicker. I need to shoot some videos of me talking about the websites, and then edit them and then put them out. I need to do that. But I'll get to it. Thank you so much, Sonia. Hello from Tunisia. Wessel, I have this presentation, so if you send me those resources. Okay, Wessel, Wessel, I'm just, I don't know how much I can help you. I'm probably going to just talk about it next week. But for your presentation, I think I've got nothing that I can share with you. I think you're going to have to research on your own and put it out. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be able to talk about it next week. So yeah, I hope you can find some good resources and things that you can use for your presentation. Yeah, just make it useful, whatever you're going to talk about, make it useful and make it practical. Practical and useful, same thing. Make it so that teachers can use it in the future. Okay, now, so we know what fossilization is. And now let's quickly look at how we can fix it. Now, the first one is to raise awareness of the problem. So if you know that a certain group of students that you work with, they constantly make that error, then you're going to want to address it, and you're going to want to fix it. And for example, with me, I know some common mistakes that students make. And so before, when we start class or when we start the semester, I tell them, listen, guys, when we first start teaching, this is one of the mistakes I see common in Korean students. And if you can fix this one mistake, you will be better than 99% of the other students out there, because it's true. One of the mistakes is that, when it's singular, in the present tense, the Koreans don't add S or ES. They would say, she go home. And so I tell my students that even some of their friends that have lived in America, and speak good English, they still make that mistake. And so if they can, and we as native speakers, we can, and teachers, we can immediately hear that mistake. We're going to, so I encourage them, and I tell them, listen, guys, I'm not always going to correct you immediately, because I want you to grow in confidence. I don't want to stop you each time. But this is the one mistake that I'm constantly going to work on to try and fix it. And it's also the same with plurals. In some countries, in China and Korea, they don't always add plurals like that. So then they say, she read many book, So yeah, that's a mistake we see. Okay, so the first one is to raise awareness of it and to help the students. You can also do targeted, you have to explain to them why it's incorrect. You can then practice, focused practice, where you use drills, repetition for them to fix that. If they're not using the past tense correctly, you're going to do drills. You're going to practice it. And you're also going to simulate real life situations where the students can practice it, so in role plays or in dialogues, of things of that nature. And another way that you can give feedback for that is you can basically recast it. So if a student makes a mistake, you're just going to repeat the sentence correctly. And I mean, we all do that anyway without thinking about it, you know. And I think, if we can use, we should just. It's all about repetition, getting the students to practice it, being aware of the problem, being aware why it's incorrect. I think that's really good. Now, let's look at some common errors of fossilization. So I wrote some down. So for Spanish speakers, many of them, it's the omission of the subject pronoun. So for example, instead of they would just say is raining instead of it is raining, because the Spanish often drop the subject pronoun. Okay, it could also be incorrect word order, like you are coming tomorrow. Are you coming tomorrow? You are coming tomorrow. Are you coming tomorrow? That's also with the Chinese speakers. They would say I bought book instead of I used a book. I bought a book. So they just omit articles. It's very similar in Korea too, where we've got to teach them when to use definite and indefinite articles, or when to completely omit. I think I would really like to create a specific lesson for that, when I finally get to working on that. But now I realize the only time I'm going to be able to work on that is probably next year. So I'm going to make maybe 4 lessons that I'll put out, that maybe a lesson and resources on how to teach the past tense, present continuous, and maybe 2 others that I'll work on. And then for all these others, that's next year. I'm so busy. I'm not busy now. I'm busy with other things now, but I'll get to it later. Arabic speakers. So Arabic speakers, they might say he go yesterday instead of he went yesterday. So they don't always mark the past tense correctly. And then overuse of the people are nice instead of people are nice. Okay. So because Arabic often uses indefinite articles more broadly. Okay, so for Russian speakers, they might say "I go in the bus" instead of "I go on the bus." I have I have good idea instead of "I have a good idea." French speakers, them and their numbers. I have 25 years instead of "I am 25 years old." They might also have incorrect negation, where they say "I know want" instead of "I don't want." Although I haven't. With my French friends, I haven't heard that before. So for Koreans, like I said, pluralization errors is like I have 25 years instead of I'm. Oh wait, sorry. Now I have 3 book. I have 3 books. Like I said, they really struggle with those S's when it comes to verbs or plurals, and misplaced verbs. She is beautiful instead of she beautiful is instead of she is beautiful. So because of the way it's, I wouldn't say this is a good example, but definitely how they do it like that. Okay, let's see. How is everyone doing? I hope that was interesting. Let's read some things. My dad's here too. Hi, Dad. Hope you're doing well. Eric, how about a group of face-to-face classes? For who? For students? For us as teachers? What about group of face-to-face classes? What do you mean, Manuel? Is it like, what about group of face-to-face classes? You mean for us, or just tips on it? Because I've made videos on how to teach large groups, and I've made 2 videos on how to teach one-on-one or face-to-face. HJ, how you doing? I work at a university in Daegu. That's where I work. I'm not going to tell you the university, but it's not difficult to find out, I guess. It would be a... How are you doing, by the way, HJ? I'm just teasing. It would be a best opportunity to talk with Well, these group classes, Manuel, I think you would find them in many countries where they do have language exchanges, and they do have times when they would meet like that. So yeah, no, I think it's very useful if you can meet people like that. My dad says 2024 is almost history, especially in the southern hemisphere where the long summer holiday starts mid-December. Yes, it's hot in Buenos Aires at Christmas. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's quite surprising is in the southern hemisphere like Buenos Aires and South Africa and Australia, New Zealand, where it's summer now, and then here in Korea and in the north it's winter. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up with a summer Christmas, but I've kind of gotten used to the winter Christmas too. So I'm excited to be here. Speaking of winter Christmas, I need to figure out some presents for people. Do you guys have any ideas, any gifts or present ideas that you could give to someone? Um, huh, I should be better at giving presents, but it's definitely something I need to work on. It looks like I'm so lazy because the camera's so high and I'm sitting back like this. Let me try and sit closer to the camera. Although I didn't put in any wax, I just took a shower a little bit ago. Okay. So, what would you guys like to talk about? Is there anything I should talk about? Maybe I should look up while I'm busy. Personalized presents. Culture Bridge. Thank you. Yeah, that's personalized presents. But I have to buy some presents for people I don't know, and I'm not like I don't just want to get things from Korea. I want to make it. I could take things from Korea, but I think it's more important to focus on the present because I'm going to meet some new people. And some mostly female, I guess, and some male. But I need to think of some good presents, not overly expensive, not like, but maybe one expensive. We'll see. Modality, comma, register, and signaling vocabulary. Okay, let's look it up. Okay, essential components of effective communication. Okay, modality refers to the use of language to express degrees of certainty. Okay, yeah. So modal verbs, may, could, might, she might come to the meeting. Okay. Must, have, to, need to. Okay, very interesting. So, using modality, register, and signaling vocabulary are essential components of effective communication, particularly in academic. Okay, very important. So modality is the degrees of certainty. Register, the level of formality or appropriateness of language-based or context or audience. Very interesting. So, it's the level of your register, how you're going to speak. It's your tone and vocabulary that you're going to use, with informal, neutral, or formal, when you're in academic writing, for example. I think what's very important is to give lots of examples of how to use these, so when you compare the same sentence in different registers. So if it's informal, let's say you have an event and you want to cancel the event and you send a message to everyone. You're just like, if it's to like friends, you're like, sorry, event's off, it's canceled. If it's neutral, it's like, unfortunately, the event has been canceled. But if it's formal, I regret to inform you that the event has been cancelled. Very interesting. And then signaling vocabulary includes words and phrases used to structure discourse, indicate relationships between ideas, and guides or teachers. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, so it's very important for coherence and clarity in speaking. So when you're sequencing ideas, it would be next, first, next, finally, in addition. When you add emphasis, for example, particularly, contrasting ideas, however, this is a really good one, and concluding, in conclusion. Yeah, so you can do some gap-filled exercises. You can do some paragraph reordering activities and some presentations where, what I like to do with my students for presentations, because, after seeing as many presentations as I have, you kind of know what's going to happen. So it's very important to help your students with the structure of presentations. So you're going to tell them in your introduction. I think we should, you can teach them the structure of saying, okay, well, it's the introduction where you introduce your topic and yourself, and the body where you have different parts that you're going to talk about, and then finally your conclusion will be, it'll be a summary of what you've spoken about, and then also a call to action. And but I felt like I was more successful this year by just telling the students, when I tell them about creating their presentation, their PPT, I tell them, listen, it's very important to have a first slide with because so often, one of the mistakes I often make is I just assume students should know what a presentation is supposed to look like. Somebody taught them how to do that, but we should never, think that we should always try and teach our students as if they're very new to something, unless we know otherwise. So with this, I give my students, I try to be more clear in my instructions, where I say, okay, the first slide, you're going to come in, it's going to be the topic, your student name, and your student number. You're going to smile, you're going to look at me, and you're going to you're going to say, say hello to everyone, introduce yourself and the topic. You're going to quickly give a brief overview of what you will talk about. So that's very important. If students are doing a very long speech, you want to give them, you want to tell them to let the audience know in advance how long the speech might be, or how long it's going to be, because they've done some studies. When people are waiting for a bus, if they're waiting for a bus but they're unsure about when the bus is going to arrive, they get very upset. But they are more comfortable with waiting longer if you just put in how long it might take the bus to arrive. So people are more comfortable with that assurance. And it's the same with giving presentations too. If they say, okay, everyone, today's I'm going to talk about what's it? Modality, register, and signaling vocabulary. Those are the three things I'm going to talk about. It should take about 10 minutes of your time, and I'll remind you during you don't have to say that, but during the presentation you can say, okay, this is the first thing done, 2 more to go, or 2 done, we're almost close. So that will also reignite attention. Okay, anyway, so you do your body, usually 3 things, and then with your conclusion, you want to give a brief summary of what you've spoken about. You need a call to action. You should. I hope you more. By the way, ... in Korean they say more. So I've kind of picked that up. Anyway, so then you do, and then yeah, and I also tell them about the body language. Open up, be okay with walking. You don't have to stand next to the podium. You feel free to walk around, smile, make good eye contact with me, point to there. I also say, don't fidget, try not to touch yourself when you're doing it, because many people get nervous. I don't want you to read a whole presentation. If you have your script, that's what the presentation is for. Oh yeah, and then so you do your call to action, and then make sure to say thank you. So thank you for listening, because so often students just randomly finish the presentation and they don't do more. So yeah, those are some tips. When students talk about that they get very nervous before, I think it's not being nervous. I think the biggest problem is lazy students not giving themselves enough time and preparing something a day before. So if you have time to work with your students, you want them to check in. So instead of saying, oh, I want your presentation done in 2 weeks, you can say, okay, well, next week I'm going to check up on your script, and we're going to practice a little bit. So that helps the students prepare in time. And then also, what was the other thing? So presentation, do the presentation. Oh yeah. And then for confidence, some of them get so nervous, and it's so funny. because some of my students, I've seen them before. This is the second time they've taken my class, or it's a different class, but it's the second time they've taken a class with me, and they choose their classes. So they're very happy to have class and to see me another time. So they know me. They know that I'm quite chilled, and my classes are, it's I don't try to make it too stressful, and they enjoy my classes. But it's funny, all these students that they've done presentations with me and all these things, and their presentations are usually really good. They come in and they say, "Oh, Eric, I'm so nervous right before," and I don't know why the students say, especially the good students. It's not like they have the students that don't prepare anything. They come in as if they own the place. They just stride in. Put down a presentation with 3 slides. It's all white. It uses the same font, the standard font, and they're so confident. But these students that prepare well, they're more nervous. But when it comes to students that get nervous, especially shy students, you want to encourage them to perhaps shoot a video of themselves doing the presentation, not just do it in front of a mirror. Take a video so that they can see what they look like, and they get an idea of what it looks like to someone watching the presentation. And then they can also focus more on their body language and their engagement with the person. And then just some natural confidence tips with body language, opening yourself up, showing them your palms, the Jesus pose, not the Jesus pose, but if you show your palms to people, they open up. So it doesn't mean you have to go like this. Just be okay with opening up, gesturing, not excessively, standing up straight, breathing deep, and smiling. So many students don't smile, and I think it's vitally important. Anyway, it's just some tips. Where have we been? Sorry, guys, I've been talking nonstop forever. Carolina. Thank you so much for talking about fossilization. Oh, you're the one that asked. I remember now. Have you ever taught business students? I have. I have taught some business classes. Yeah, but have I taught them? Yeah, I've gone through a book. I didn't like the business book, but we did lots of activities. I would actually like to do more lessons specifically for business English teachers, or something useful. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I need to find out. Amina, hello. A useful kit, don't be cheap. Culture, I appreciate you for being so straightforward with me. Yes, I shouldn't be cheap. It's something I'm trying to fix, is being better at giving giving gifts. I won't be cheap, but yeah, sometimes I give bad gifts. It's a curse. Kurdish, how are you doing? So nice to see you. One of the best teachers. We've been online friends for a few years now. I love seeing your videos and your content with your teachers, Kurdish. Ode Niho, from Vietnam. One more. Let me tell you, in Tenerife right now, it's a heat wave. Wow, that's hot, 24 degrees. Sorry, that ain't Skibidi. That's the first one. First time anybody has used Skibidi with me. Actually, I saved this photo I saw of a teacher having a poster on their wall of all the things that students aren't allowed to say: Sigma, Alpha, etching, and Skibidi. Don't ask me about what these things mean, but yeah, no, I just I'll post it later. It was so funny seeing what it goes for. Skibidi. Vivi, I think it would be nice to give something you can make. Vivi, do you know me? Do you know how bad I am at creating things? I love the idea of me creating things, but I've got so many things I want to do. I would much rather trust someone to make something. Unless, what I do like with arts and crafts is an ex-girlfriend and I, for my parents, for when we saw them, she suggested taking a photo and going to paint it together. So you take a photo, you go to this art gallery, they trace it for you, they give you paint, and then you paint it. My parents still have it, and I think that's a nice thing when you make something like that with someone. Yeah, actually, I've been thinking I would like to. Oh, I want to make a vase for my own place. Because I think especially if it's girls that for girls that like flowers. So sometimes they don't have a pretty vase. So, that's a good idea. Phoebe, thank you. I appreciate it. Nobody will know. Yeah, back to what we're talking about. Honey and tea are always. I like that. T. Mm. Culture, you're so smart. Go do an IQ test now. I promise you, it's going to be like 160 or 170. Yeah, honey or tea, because I'm going to Russia, so I might need to take definitely some tea. Honey, that's a good idea. Ooh, I like that. Need to write this down somewhere. Honey, tea, and wow, you guys give such good information. I'm so happy I asked. And Vivi, you said arts and crafts, what we were talking about before. Show examples, like if they were five or young forever, right? Mindra. What's the difference between a speech and a public statement in writing? Difference between a speech? Well, in writing. I just see a speech as something you're gonna read out. Let's see. I'll quickly check. Let's find out. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, so speech and public statement, it's in their purpose, audience, tone, structured delivery method. Okay, speech could be written text. To deliver, oh no, you should deliver, it's written, but it's to deliver orally, to speak to. The purpose is to persuade, inform, motivate, or entertain. A public statement is formal written communication. The purpose is to inform, clarify, and respond to events. The audience. So speeches are often to a tailored audience, and a public statement is to a general audience. Tone and style. A speech should be more engaging to get their attention. So you're going to use repetition or anecdotes or rhetorical questions that people can respond to keep their attention, whereas a public statement is just straightforward, giving the information. Sorry, guys, I apologize. I hate when people do that. I hate when people burp or do something in public. So I hardly ever do it, but yeah, I'm sorry. It couldn't be helped. So especially when I drink water. The structure, speech, introduction, body, conclusion, shorter sentences and pauses for emphasis. Whereas a public statement is compact, concise, and to the point. The medium and delivery, a speech is verbally, and a public statement could be in writing or through readers that interpret the message. Okay, well, that was very useful. I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you, Akita. Mrs. Abiola, long time no see. I'm so happy to see you. How have you been? When did I check? This was 10 minutes ago. I hope you're doing well. It's so nice to see you. Danielle, I'm sorry, Daniel. We've got these two messages. Daniel's like boring. And then we've got this blessed one. I'm glad to watch this video. Guys, by the way, I'm so happy with my audience because 99.999% overwhelmingly positive. I've looked at other channels and people complain about people leaving bad messages, but I've had overwhelmingly positive messages and support. But I think what I should try, and most creators, or actually anything in life, even in your own life with your students or things that happen in your life, we tend to focus on the negative. So you could have 20 parents saying you're doing an amazing job, but that one parent that says you ruined their child, that's going to bother you for a long time. And I think we should understand it better and realize that for the greater good, we shouldn't focus on someone that might just not like you or the way that you say things, but in the grand scheme of things, you're doing good things. And don't get down because of what one person says. I think we should grow thicker skin, but I mean, we should be open to criticism and try and be better. But we shouldn't let that criticism get us down, that negativity. Not that I'm saying, Daniel, you're negative. I think it's really fun. Hello from Malaysia. I teach refugees English. Wow, really nice stuff, Juan. Very cool. The idea of the photo is a great idea. Yeah, I really like that. Chedley, hi from Tunisia. Ofa, hi, Eric. I've been teaching English for almost 20 years now. And you know what? I really feel the need to practice speaking English. Yeah, actually, Ofa, there's a group on Facebook. I'm going to share this. Let me go the box. The chat box. It's a group of English speakers. They've got they have chats and they share ideas and things. I'm going to share it with you. It's a private group, but it's got a few thousand members, and a lot of teachers too, and they just love working together. So I just posted the Facebook page for the group. They have live streams, and they have Zoom meetings where they chat. So try that out. I don't know. It depends where you are, but I think it's fun if you can meet people to practice with. Any tips on voice and speech in classroom? Why do I feel culture? What a great topic. Voice and speech in the classroom. I think that's so important. It takes time, for someone. Yeah, if we want to create that teacher's aura, to get the students' attention, for them to listen to us, you've got to use your teacher voice. But I love it, because now where I teach, the students are so they're so calm. I've got smaller classes, and it's very easy, and I rarely have to use my teacher voice. I mean, my strict voice. I miss that sometimes. I enjoy it. Okay, so yeah, it's all about projecting your voice, speaking louder. It's not about shouting, So it's your diaphragm. The sound should come from here, something like that, instead of coming from your throat. Vary the pitch and tone. So this is important. So you could the emphasizing keywords, slowing down, the melody of your voice should also be good. Articulate clearly, so slow down. Practice diction, so you should try improving your pronunciation. And then reduce filler words. This is my biggest problem, especially you can see in the live stream, where I use so often. And when I look back at these live streams, it's so irritating, because once you hear it the first time, you're just going to see it each time. And another one is, horrible. I hate these filler words that I use, not that you use. Use more pauses, use emotion, so your emotions should match the content of what you want to teach. You should be a bit more engaging in the classroom. You can use non-verbals, like gestures, eye contact, proximity to students, body language, standing upright. But you said focusing on just the hearing. Yeah, I think this is something you have to try to practice, is speaking from the diaphragm, and instead of screaming through your throat, because that's really going to hurt when you speak a lot. The other option, while you're still improving that, I've seen some teachers, especially some of the professors, do use mics that they have. Some buy their own mics that they use in the classroom, and that's very useful, so you can just speak. But in a normal classroom, I think you're going to want to find the pitch where you can speak loudly, where it sounds authoritative. I'm not a speech expert. I'm not an expert in many things, but I think there must be a way to project your voice, to sound louder. I don't know exactly what the process is, but I know it comes from the diaphragm, from down here, from your stomach when you speak, instead of just through your throat. How would you reach a formal register in a role play activity? Ooh, how would you teach formal register? So I guess you're going to give them a role play, like, for example, you are the government, you have to give this message to the people, or you are a company, this happened, you have to let people know. So I guess giving them a good role play like that would be fun. And then, they could have a reply activity where they have to send a formal letter back, or they can be a company, or they can be lawyers, whatever it should be. They should try and do it like that to be more professional and make it fun. It doesn't have to be serious and boring. Make it interesting. Where are we? 5 minutes left. How can I transfer from a normal teacher to a certified teacher? It depends on where you are, which country you are. Just search for it for your specific country. In South Africa, we've got to get our SACE, SACE certification to be a certified teacher. So you've got to find out in your country which ones you need. Alpha, thank you. Tin Lin, hi from Vietnam. We're like 30% Vietnamese in this place. Mike, yeah, that's a good idea. Could you tell me the names of books? See that, Chedley, I'd love to, but the thing is, I'm not comfortable sharing ideas for books because I said it right at the start of the video that I don't feel comfortable sharing it because I'm not sure if it's going. Some people might like it, some might not. So I'm not sure. I'm not too comfortable sharing ideas for books unless I'm super happy with it. But if I find something useful, I'll definitely know. A TESOL course to get certification. Hope to become a teacher, even though I don't know. Tin Lin, look it up. TESOL is fine, but look it up what exactly you need for your country and where you want to work. So whatever job you want, find out what you need and then work backwards. Don't start taking courses and certification before you're exactly sure, but a TESOL course is fine to have. Fuzzy, just tell a few tricks to connect with them. There's no internet at our governor's school. Wow, that's a lot of teachers. I have made some videos on 300 activities. And then, I've got large classes videos. I'll write this one down for next one, how to teach poems. I've been thinking about it for a while, actually. How to teach poetry. Because it's very interesting. It's something we did a lot. Fuzzy, I'm not sure about that. I would love to visit, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it. But thank you for the invitation. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining another live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate you taking some time off from your day to say hello. I wish you all a lovely week ahead, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.